Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
That is going to
Just
have
the
to
two
stop
of us.
right away. Like,
Just the two of us.
you and
Just
I.
the two of us.
But really, no.
Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us.
Is that really the lyrics? Did someone... They should know you can't build castles in the sky.
Have you seen any Japanese anime? There's always a castle in the sky.
This is true. This is very true.
And the Japanese are way more advanced than us.
Which must mean that they've done it.
They live in the future.
Weird. Oh, yeah, they do. Ha! Took me a bit.
You're welcome. That was a joke on a couple of levels.
That was. Yeah, that really was.
Welcome to Word Rango, the game show where dictionary definitions produce knowledge and comedy. 4 words enter, 1 word leaves, and is crowned champion. Our steely nerd competitors, a writer, another writer, a voice actor, and that other guy. And now it's gloves off. And set your dictionaries to fun. It's time for Word Rango. Here's your host, Mike Suzak.
Welcome to Word Rango. My name is Mike Suzak. Every week we give you guys a bunch of words and their definitions, and that would normally sound really boring. I'm sure of it. But actually what we do is we guess those things that are called words and definitions, and we have a bunch of funny moments and comedy and stuff. For those of you that are new to the show, I should tell you right off the bat, this is not a traditional show whatsoever. I'm joined this week by Bob Ball.
Ms. Jackson, if you're nasty.
Dave Hinkle. And Ryan Lewis. Except neither of those other two bastards are here. Bob, what happened to Dave this week?
Dave, I got this cryptic text about an hour and a half ago.
Okay.
That said, have to run, period. New job, taking up a bunch of my time, period. And then it just says CIA after it. So I'm not sure if he's in the Central Intelligence Agency or if he joined some rap group called CIA.
Probably a rap group. Was it hashtag CIA? Because I think they're trying to...
It was hashtag CIA.
Okay, so maybe it is the real CIA because they're trying to stay more socially active, I think. That's their thing.
They're definitely active. I guess it's social as well.
Right. And then also, I guess Ryan, I know he had fallen down a well of some sort. I don't know what happened there.
How did he tell you that he fell down a well?
Well, he told me kind of like this. Mike, I'm trapped in a well. And I was like, send the bucket of water up. And, I was able to make sure that all the animals got their water and everything. I mean, that's, you got to do what you got to do. Life moves on, and so does this podcast. And normally what we would do is we'd each give you guys words from our own brains that access the internet. And we're not doing that this week. Instead, what we did is before the show, we harvested words from the community, from you word rangoteers that so desperately wanted to hear your names and a word attached to them on this show. And that's what we're doing. It's sort of our massive special guest. I don't know. I mean, it's sort of the listener episode, So that's what we're doing is in advance, we have 6 words. See, that's even crazier. Normally we'd have 4.
6 Is this show big enough for 6 words?
We're going to try it. So what we're doing is we're going to give you guys 6 words and their definitions, but we're also going to get some guesses in here. And the first word that we're going to start off with this week comes from our dear friend at Sinan Kuba, who says oblongata. Oblongata. I think maybe since he's not here, why don't we give our first guest to Dave? Dave sent me an email, so I made sure that we could get some guesses in advance, and he says, I think this word means a misshapen samurai blade that is created by a janitor during Samurai Job Switch Week. It's a week when feudal Japanese communities would switch jobs to see how the other half lived. Oh, wow.
Is that also on the Discovery Channel? Is that like the week before Shark Week?
I was thinking that this was like a movie starring like Kevin James or something, right? He's the janitor And
it's Tom Cruise and Kevin James.
Perfect. Yep, it's The Last Samurai, and then, oh Lord, I hope he's not The Last Samurai.
Last Samurai 2, Oblongata Week.
Right. It's like the Samurai of Queens or something, I guess. But yeah, Paul Blart, Janitor Samurai. and Paul Blart, Janitor Samurai is like and just so everybody knows, I did not read any of these from Dave in advance. I just have the email and I'm going to read them when we get to them. So this is all new to me. But yeah, Paul Blart, Janitor Samurai switched with Tom Cruise, The Last Samurai for the week. So Tom Cruise is just sort of cleaning things up around the high school, the Japanese high school, I guess. And yeah, then Paul Blart, aka Kevin James, aka the King of Queens, he did his thing, and it's a misshapen samurai blade, and that's what the oblongata is. And it does, when you look at this word, just so people know, it's spelled Oblongata. It does kind of look like katana, and I think that, like it's got that ana and all that going on there. Yeah, it kind of has this look that I could see where Dave's going with it, don't you think, Bob?
I like the fact that the Japanese high school, when it was written down on paper, would be Japanese, Hoi!
I love that we still have something that's like vaguely offensive, and there's just two of us. Like you would think that it gets to be more and more unacceptable, but no.
What happens when there's just one of us?
But then it synthesizes all the racism down. It just turns into one guy that's just screaming, about some frickin' social issues or something. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, Bob, what do you think oblongata means? Okay,
so I got this. It still is a Japanese term, but let me describe it for you. You're minding your own business. You're in your tiny Tokyo suburb apartment. It's about 800 square feet. Okay. It's jam-packed with all your anime books and inflatable dolls, but that's not important right now. You hear something outside. You race to the window, that low bass pounding getting louder and louder. You throw open the curtain. Yes, it's a curtain. It's a very small window. You're not Hiroshi Machi, right? Hashtag am I right? Anyway, the small porthole-sized window reveals what you have always feared. A giant mechanized spider bear is walking right towards your building. You scramble to your front door and you race out to the street just in time to see the spider bear eating your beloved pink Hello Kitty 300cc scooter. The only thing left as it marches off to downtown Tokyo is half a handlebar, and I think that spider bear puked up a copy of Scooter Boy magazine that was under your jump seat. So you call your insurance agent, and with a heavy heart, you call him to report an oblongata.
So the spider bear is the oblongata, right?
Well, the spider bear could, it could be a giant upright walking lizard. It could be an alien with little pincers. It's more so that you're calling to your insurance agent to report a monster has eaten your Hello Kitty scooter.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I just want to say, Bob, when you spin a yarn, it really gives me an amazing visual. Now, in this case, when you said giant mechanized spider bear, my first thought wasn't an actual bear with like spider legs, but it was like an enormous teddy bear with spider legs. And for some reason, its little innocent smile and beady black eyes, like marble eyes, almost made that more horrifying to me. Like
dead eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Yeah. Oh God, it just scares the shit out of me thinking about it. So yeah, I am. Wow. Spider bear though, I like that. And I do like that we're keeping with the whole, let's destroy Tokyo thing going, because that's, we got things coming up for that.
bit.ly/King of Tokyo.
There you go. Do that. My guess, oblongata. I'm going to say that my basic guess, I think this is a more simple definition for this word, is that it's basically when things are shaped like an eggplant. Like very specifically like an eggplant. For instance, eggplant, that would be oblongata.
It's very oblongata.
there are probably other things like bananas that are shaped like eggplants.
What if you get an eggplant that's shaped like a banana?
That would be tricky as fuck.
Whoa, I think I just blew my own mind.
I think if I had that, then I would sneak into a grocery store at night and then switch all the eggplant and put them in the bananas section, and then take all the bananas and put them in the eggplant section. And that way, when people walk up to get themselves a banana, or a bunch of bananas, they just stand there for a while saying, like, when did they get purple bananas?
Honey, can I try one of these?
What the hell is this? What the fuck is going on over at Dole?
I don't even see where the peel starts.
What the fuck, Chiquita? What'd you do? So yeah, I think it's just things shaped like an eggplant. Oblongata, I went to Sexy Merriam-Webster, and they say it's actually medulla oblongata. So at Sinan Kubba, you can tweet them and say, hey dude, you got it wrong. It is the part of the vertebrate brain that is continuous posteriorly with the spinal cord.
Wait, I want you to say that word 2 more times.
God damn it. Posteriorly. I knew I'd get it. With the spinal cord, and that contains the centers controlling involuntary vital functions. I've recognized this word. This is the part of the brain that's basically at the top of the neck, base of the head kind of area. You could feel it upper back of the neck or whatever. And that, as it says, it controls involuntary vital functions. That's the medulla oblongata. I believe... Wait, no. Maybe I'm mixing that up with something else. I don't really care. Whatever. You guys that are all science people can tweet us and tell us that we got it right or wrong. Anyways, the medulla oblongata, though, is part of the brain.
Shut your face, Bill Nye.
Yeah. What's up, science guy? Not you. So that's that. But I'm sorry, I'm sidetracked because I randomly just got a text message. It's from our friend Dave Hinkle. He says, whatever happened to bandanas? I feel like I haven't seen one in years. What the hell? What? He's not wrong. I do feel like I haven't really seen anybody wear a bandana in many years, unless it's in a movie. Have you, Bob, seen anyone wear a bandana ever?
Absolutely. Just go try to watch any rock band from the 80s perform now. They all wear bandanas. Do you know why? They don't have any hair, but they want to keep the mystique of, look at my long, flowing, beautiful locks. That's a wig, dude. We all know it. Come on, Bret Michaels.
Stupid Bret Michaels. And I do feel like bandanas slowly went out of style, like after Corey Feldman went out of style. Like that, I don't know why, but didn't he
1986?
Yeah, didn't he wear a bandana? I feel like I've seen that. Yeah, sure enough. He's got a look. Corey Feldman.
Is he the
bandana.
dead Corey or is he the alive Corey?
He is the dead Corey, I believe. He is definitely not the alive one.
Hashtag sad face.
Was he? Corey's
really? Until one of them died, I thought they were both dead. Wow. And then suddenly one was alive again.
I think he's still alive. Was it Corey Haim?
That's the other one.
Corey Haim. We need to figure this out because I don't want to declare someone...
Let's get to the bottom of this right now.
I don't want to declare someone dead without them being dead. Yes, Corey Haim is the one that died. Corey Feldman is still kicking it. And he probably still has a bandana. That's oblongata. It's shaped like an eggplant. Okay, let's move on. The next word that I want to go to is troubadour.
I think it's pronounced troubadour.
Don't you tell me what to do, Bob. Troubadour. Troubadour. What do you think that means?
Troubadour. It's troubadour. And this is a... You know how you walk up to the front of like your grocery store in, say, March, and you're always attacked by this small group of Nazis known as the Girl Scouts. Okay. And they're pushing these cookies on you. Just buy some cookies, want some cookies, buy some cookies, get away from all those cookies. I always walk up and I find the little girls who look like they've been hit with like a shovel in the face. I mean, I don't want to buy cookies from ugly people. If I want to buy cookies from ugly people, I will try to sell them to myself in the mirror. Thank you very much. But troubadours, this is a troop of Girl Scouts that are just all adorable. And they sell hundreds of thousands of cookies per day. Troubadour.
Huh. I kind of want to believe that, even though it's kind of terrible. It's kind of bad. We were similar. We were on the same track, I feel. Troubadour, I believe, means that it is a bratty kid that just likes to make trouble. So like, these sorts of kids. They're the ones that like, they duct tape your ass to a seat somehow, or they put whoopee cushions in other things. And they try.
Are you just going down a list of things I did this morning?
Yes, I am actually. You are
okay.
You are a troubadour. You've been a troubadour since the day I met you. But no, I like a little shit. Like that's the best way to put it, is that a troubadour is just a little shit. They like to make trouble. They're the little kids that like, they pull a stupid little like dumb fucking prank on you. Like you open up your locker at school and suddenly somehow magically everything falls out. And who knows how they manage to do that, because there's nice shelving in there, and like you would have to actually booby trap everything so it all comes out. But they do. They go through the links to make your life hell. And then after it happens, you turn, they're right there. They start pointing at you and they're like, and it's always like that. That's a troubadour. It's a little shitty kid. And you just hate them, like you just want to shove them in a garbage can or something. And just, that's where they belong. They're just little shitty kids. So that's what I think troubadour means. We need to move over to Mr. Hinkle. Dave says troubadour is a sad-sounding door, like a troubled young door, like one that's a bit creaky and wasn't exactly cut right.
Its parents never hugged it enough.
Bob, you are, I must say, you're a really good voice actor. You've had many different voices on this show, some of which are just treasured characters that I think makes for podcast legends, like your pirate, the secret octopus, and Rick Moranis the butterfly. Now, I would like to know.
Yarr. Well, thank you. What's that supposed to mean? Get out of my spotlight!
Fucking butterfly, I love it. But what I want to know is if you think there is a voice that could match a sad-sounding troubadour.
A troubled young door.
Mm-hmm.
Part of this, of course, will have to be sound effectory. So, what's he going to be sad about?
Well, it's Dave's thing says like one that's a bit creaky and wasn't exactly cut right. But I don't know, maybe it's the fact that they were at the door store, and let's say that they they were brought home with a couple of their friends, and all their friends got to become doors for all these awesome rooms, and he was put down in like the basement or in the cellar, or he's a door that is out in the garage, or like it's for the stable where all the shit is for the animals. I don't know, something along those lines.
Okay, you and I are at the door store.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to do a couple of lines, come in and just say you're looking to buy a door, and then you meet me.
Hello, ma'am. I'm here to buy a door. I have a door I need to install for my shit pen. My shit pen.
Well, let's look at some doors over here. Look at that one over there, sir. It's a real steal.
All right. There's something strange about this door. Can't quite put my finger on it.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Oh, good Lord, this door.
Oh.
You seem troubled, young door.
Oh, I don't quite fit right, and my girlfriend just left me. She said I was a total knob.
Was your girlfriend, was she a knocker? She a door knocker?
She was at least one knocker. She might have had two if she stuck around longer.
She sounds like a real belle. That's unfortunate, sir. So what I want to know what can you do for me. I want to know that you're going to keep things nice and closed. You sound a little troubled, like you're going to come unhinged at some point.
I was ill prepared for that joke.
So was I.
Oh, she told me if I wanted it, I should have put a doorbell ring on it. Oh.
It's like we're trying to out-pun each other here.
And scene. Okay.
I'm impressed. We just had our best scenario in years. Fuck Ryan and Dave. Fuck them both. So I bet people at home are wondering, just what on earth does troubadour mean? I will tell you, according to Sexy Merriam-Webster, troubadour is a writer and performer of songs or poetry in the Middle Ages. Or one of a class of lyric poets and poet-musicians, often of knightly rank, who flourished from the 11th to the end of the 13th century, chiefly in the south of France and the north of Italy, and whose major theme was courtly love. So basically, someone that's a writer, performer of songs and poetry in the Middle Ages that primarily talked about love. That's a troubadour. It's a romantic of sorts, don't you think? I think we got that. Yeah.
My love has just died from the Black Death of here, and I'm 26 in my twilight year. Kind of that stuff?
Yeah, that's probably more thematically correct than I'm sure they even had it. I'm going to be honest. It's a cool word. Definition-wise, slightly lacking. Just slightly lacking. But we need to move on. There's just so many things. The next word up, before I go too far, troubadour, by the way, that was from @RowanKaiser, also a friend of the show. This next one, though, comes from our dear friend, devoted word rangeteer and listener, @7ravis. This word is trencherman. I love this word so much. Trencherman. And boy, I think I'll go first with this one. I believe that trencherman, I'm going to say trencherman, is one of Paul Troon's dearest rivals. And he's also a Mega Man character. So that's... So like, trencherman,
Mega Man, I see that you are so close to me. Let me dig a trench. This takes a long time. I should have built a machine for this. Oh. Can someone get me a glass of water? Oh boy, this really starts to burn in the forearms after a while. Just go to the next level. I don't care.
So that's trencherman. And yeah, Paul Troon, he needs more. I figured he needs more. Hi, Paul. He needs more enemies. He needs more in his universe, because all really good superheroes have a big universe with a bunch of different enemies and smaller characters, and trencherman isn't necessarily a big enemy. Like, it's not his arch nemesis, but he's, that's Ucaligon, but trencherman is trencherman is definitely like lower tier, but he's a real fucking pain in the ass. He's just a fucking pain in the ass. Paul Troon is like driving to get to work or something. Suddenly there's a trench in the middle of the fucking road, right? God damn you, trencherman! That's kind of what I figured is going on with that. So, yeah.
Paul Troon, I have dug a trench and I have flooded your parking spot at work.
Oh, you son of a bitch. That's a fucking reserved parking spot, you asshole. So that's trencherman. That's my guess. Bob, what do you think trencherman means?
I think I completely just busted my own definition there. Crap. Okay, let's come up with a different one then. So a trencherman is a guy not only who has an affinity for trenches, but anything that's subterranean. Hang on. I'll get to something funny here shortly.
Well, I thought that was interesting, but okay.
I might be just grasping in the dark, but, So is trencherman. He's underground. So trencherman, He's not exactly a superhero, but he's more of an archaeologist. He likes to dig under the ground, and he likes to find things like moles, earthworms, Jimmy Hoffa, anything that's below the ground. That's Trencherman.
Okay, yeah. So he's
remember when I said I was going to get to something funny? I don't know that I did.
No, and you know what? It's all right. And I don't think.
Don't worry, I'll get there. I'll just dig a little more for you. Woo, woo, feel the burn. Feel the burn. Oh, this really is a good look at a cardio.
We got to move along. Dave writes in and he says, "This is like a guy who isn't very fond of the rain, but loves trench coats." he buys a new one every season and don't ever bring up that Columbine thing to him. Oh, God damn it, Dave. Like, Dave isn't even here and he still drops something on us that makes me cringe. Yes, so this is like a guy who isn't very fond of the rain but loves trench coats. He buys a new one every season and don't ever bring up that Columbine thing to him. That's Trencherman. Trencherman is obsessed with trench coats.
So is that all he wears?
Ugh. Yeah, so maybe instead...
I mean, he just has like his galoshes and his trench coat on and just stands like in the pizza place ordering a pizza.
Yeah.
And like,
I think absolutely. I think maybe he's like...
I sure do want olives.
It's a guy that's sort of like obsessed with the Matrix, and like he wears the dark black, or dark black. That's so fucking redundant. He wears the black trench coat and everything, and he thinks he's Neo, but he's like naked Neo, So he's naked underneath, and maybe he's got a thing for flashing, for exposing himself in public, and maybe that's who Trencherman is.
Will you hurry up and order that pizza? Some of us haven't trenched it. Oh my God! Ah! Take your time.
Trencherman, according to Merriam-Webster, it is a hearty eater. It's also, the second definition is archaic term for hanger-on, which is someone who spends a lot of time around a person, place, or group in order to get something such as fame, money, or power. Hanger, then a dash on. And then, or sponger, which is basically the same thing. So, I refer to those as Klingons. Right. And so Trencherman is either someone that is just in the posse trying to get something out of you that kind of hangs around, or it's a hearty eater. I like that. I like that. I can't ever see myself using Trencherman.
Let me just take a look and see if that website is available. bobandthetrencherman.com. Oh, look at that. It's available.
Good. That's your new webcomic. Have fun with that.
I'm going to change the name of this show.
You're not wrong. Moving on. Our next word comes from @SusanArndt, friend of the show, very funny person. And her word for us this week is concubine.
Look, it's too soon to talk about concubine.
Is it?
A lot of... it is.
All right.
I'll cut this out in post.
We're going to start with Dave right now. Dave says, Xena, warrior princess. That's all he says.
That's all?
That's it. He just said, Xena, warrior princess. That's a concubine. All right. That's okay.
I think she would do very well at the combine for the NFL.
Yeah, definitely. Bob, what do you think concubine means?
Concubine, it's when you combine a conch shell with anything else. So let's say you're in beautiful Hawaii, the waves lapping against the shore, and you find this conch shell, which obviously you've probably paid for because those don't just wash up. So you've got this conch shell, and you're like, it needs a little something. What if I put a bird on it? Or, you're welcome, Portlandia fans. What if I take this and I attach it to my bowling ball? I have a concubine. I almost said Columbine, and that is not what that is.
Nope. And I'm now realizing that after Dave brought up Columbine, this word really is so much harder to say.
Yes, it is.
So much harder. So you have conch shells, and you attach them to things, right? That's
yeah.
Okay. I that's cool. I feel like
put one
that's
on the babysitter? Do it. Just get that staple gun and there you go.
Well, that might not hold. Better get a nail gun. And those, that's cool. It's just, conch shells are one of those things where if you go on a vacation somewhere even remotely tropical, you always fucking come back with some shells. Why not? It's like, oh, like a crab used to live in this thing. Let's put it in our house. And they look
It's
cool.
like a house in a house.
Right. They also are the basis of one of my dumbest jokes that I do to people all the time, which is like I randomly hold an empty, like if I'm at a bar and I finish my beer and I just hold the glass up to my ear and I say I can hear the ocean. And I live in Wisconsin. There's no ocean around here. They're always like, shut the fuck up, Mike. Like, you're not funny. But I do it, once a week to them, and it's good stuff. We always get a laugh out of it. So, yeah, concubine, I'm going to say a concubine is a person that holds items up to their ears and then pretends that they can hear the ocean like it's a conch shell. So, I'm a concubine. That's what I think.
Effing concubine.
It's like, oh, that motherfucker. He's doing that same dad joke again. The worst. Just the worst. But before I get to the real definition of concubine, I just got a text message from Dave. I don't know. I wasn't expecting it. And I'm not lying. He really is texting me, you guys. He says, in the country Stolchko, the national delicacy is horse.
Well, it's the same thing in the country of IKEA as well, right?
I think so. Wow. I'm just thinking about eating horses now. We're going to cut all this out and post, like the whole show. Concubine, according to Merriam-Webster, is an unmarried woman who has sex with a man and lives with the man and his wife or wives.
Oh, that sounds complicated.
Yeah, it sounds like if you're going to put that on... Wait a minute. Is that available on Facebook? Because if that's not a relationship status, I'm going to be pissed.
Everyone go right now and change your Facebook status to concubine.
Oh, that would be the best, right? Because you're just being honest with everyone, right? You're just saying, look, I know what I'm doing. I'm fucking this dude, and it's all cool. I'm living with him and his wife. And it's just like, let's just be real with ourselves. So I'm going to go to update info on my own Facebook. I'm going to go to the part where it says engaged, and I'm clicking edit, and we're going to go to the drop down, and there's single and relationship, engaged, married, civil union, domestic partnership, an open relationship. It's complicated, separated, divorced, and widowed. I guess the closest thing we can get out of this is complicated, maybe open relationship. Would this count as a civil union or domestic partnership?
It's definitely a domestic something.
God.
I don't know about partnership.
It's just the weirdest. I'm a little disappointed that Facebook doesn't give us the concubine option, but I think we all need to write in and say, hey guys, this is bullshit. But wow, I mean, it's crazy. We've had similar things. Wasn't there a word last week, Bob, when I wasn't around that sort of mimicked, there was some similarities as far as relationship stuff. It was kind of related to that. I can't remember.
No, I don't pay attention to these shows at all.
Yeah, I know. You only pay attention to your own word. Moving on.
The word of the week is awesome.
Moving on. We have two more words. It's crazy, isn't it? So many words this week. Our next word comes from our dear friend and loyal listener. We love this person. At Obo Crazy says sigmoidal.
Ow, that sounds painful. Sigmoidal.
Sigmoidal.
Give me a spelling on sigmoidal.
Sigmoidal. Sigmoidal.
Sigmoidal.
And as I'm saying it, I tend to, I'm normally pretty enthusiastic, but when we're doing the show, my hands are just by my side usually. I'm not doing anything. But when I say this word, for some reason, I kind of in the air pinch my thumb and forefinger together and kind of close together and sort of pull apart in the air. Like I'm pulling something apart. Like it's just sigmoidal. Sigmoidal.
It's a little sigmoidal.
So that's a weird fucking word. But Bob, do you have any guesses as to what it means?
Oh, absolutely. Sigmoidal is when you take your thumb and first finger, you put them together, and you do everything as if you're acting it out. Like you want to unlock the door, you're just making the motion of putting the key between that first finger and your thumb and inserting it into... Okay, I'm going to start over. This is not working. It was going nowhere in my head, too. Sigmoidal is when you have a stack of Post-it notes, and you take each one of them, and, oh man, I'm running out of gas. This really is a 4-word show. Sigmoidal is the process of taking a pad of Post-it notes, and you separate each page individually.
Oh, you fucker.
And you're like working off all the tackiness off of it, but then you carefully put them all back together.
Oh, you terrible goddamn person.
And then you put it right back on your boss's desk.
I hope you rot in all 7 levels of hell. Like, you're the worst.
I already do.
You're the worst person ever. Like, okay, let's just get all the cards out there. I used to be a receptionist. That was one of my old jobs. People say, "Oh, you're a dude and you're a receptionist." Like, come on, we don't have to go there. But I mean, I was quote unquote an office assistant. So that means I did a lot of copying, did a lot of typing up stuff. It was at a daycare center, so I actually used to have to like make little crafty things that kids would play with. Lord knows why they put me in charge of these sorts of things, but they did.
Here, kid, let me just get you one of these here. It's a wadded up sheet of paper. Go play.
And, it worked out.
Get away from me. I got to take my Advil.
No one got hurt. I mean, let's just be perfectly clear. Nobody got hurt.
Check mark.
But what I can say, though, is that it got to be trying at times because it's just, like any other job, any other office job, little stupid, dramatic stuff. And part of it was a lot of office stuff, so I dealt with a lot of office supplies. And like any other job, I definitely took some when I quit. Because you always have to, right? You just have to. But one of the things is that you learn the differences in quality between all these different office supplies. So when you have a shitty bunch of pens, the ones that just don't twirl right in your fingers, they don't quite write well, you do everything you can, and it seems like the ink runs out 3 months too early. It's just the worst. But you do especially notice it, I felt, when it came to your Post-it notes. There are ones that are lined, there are ones that are not lined. You have all these different funky colors. And, some of them don't stick all that well. As in, like, 95% of them never stick very well. And now I know it's because of assholes like you, Bob, that just... like, you fucking take the adhesive off, you pull a Post-it off, and then you try and stick it. And it's like, the second you take a Post-it off, it immediately gathers all of the dust and hair in the vicinity. So that way, when you look under it, you're like, oh, son of a bitch, this isn't going to stick anywhere, And you're like, okay, this is a really important note. Time to stick it up here. Falls off immediately.
The thing is, you've already written your stuff on there, too.
Right.
So now you have to rewrite it.
Right. And now if you decide I'm going to just use it for fun and you write balls on it or something and you stick it, it's there forever. It may as well have been spray painted on the wall. I mean, that is just the most frustrating asinine thing. And it's like Post-its are a thing that have not been solved yet. It's still a big question mark as far as Post-its go and their effectiveness. So yeah, Sigmoidal, like, I hate you so much right now. You're the worst person. I hope you never do that ever again.
I'm doing it right now to my own.
Oh, well, yeah, at least you're fucking yourself over there. My guess, Sigmoidal, I believe that it is, it's quote unquote pulling a Siegfried and Roy. So let's say that...
Were you eaten by a tiger?
Sort of. Like, basically, for those that don't know Siegfried and Roy, they were a magician and entertainer duo that they appeared frequently with, like, lions and tigers and stuff.
Oh, my.
I knew that was coming. You son of a bitch. We don't need to...
Did they also appear with bears? Only after the shows.
And they did appear with bear spiders. But and that's part of the problem is that Siegfried and Roy, they had an accident many years ago, and everyone seems to refer to this. Like, the second anybody says Siegfried and Roy, I mean, you even did it just now, Bob. It's like, oh, did you get attacked by a tiger or whatever? Like, that's what happened to one of them. But instead, being sigmoidal means that you and one other person are forced to sort of stop your act to sort of split off or something. I don't think they split off though, but like it ends like your careers or something along those lines as a duo because of some unforeseen accident, such as a tiger attack or a bear spider attack or getting hit by a train. Help me out, Bob. What else could be sigmoidal that could end, let's say, in this case, this podcast you and I are doing. We're the duo this week, you know?
I am seriously concerned that you're doing some heavy-handed foreshadowing.
That is how art
is
works.
Is there a bear in here?
I can tell you there's no bear here.
Damn it!
Yeah, you're pretty...
I taste awful! I taste like stale Captain Crunch.
Let's just stop for a second and just offer some survival tips to those that might encounter bears or bear spiders. First thing you want to do, shout as loud as you can that you taste awful. Maybe if you say it enough, you'll convince them. That's the way to go.
I do not taste like horse.
Yeah, that's gonna work really well.
Piss and vinegar. That's it. That's all I taste like.
Piss and vinegar. Oh, wow.
I've been told that I'm full of it.
So there, that's, basically something that ends your careers together. It has to be together. It's a duo thing. It's not just one person. But that's sigmoidal. Let's go to Dave. Dave writes in, he says, this is a trait in tadpoles where they develop turn signals because it's pretty chaotic down there in that pond. There must be some order. I hate him so much because he's so much funnier than me. But yeah, so tadpoles develop turn signals. That is sigmoidal, and I think it makes sense. You know, they have to have... It is kind of crazy when you think about it. How it's like this tiny little squirmy organism can find its way. You know, it's like Jeff Goldblum used to say in Jurassic Park. Life finds a way. It's good stuff. And it's also when you drop tadpoles in water on your hands and it follows the same because of the turn signals.
Now, when they get old, do they always have the blinker on? It's like, will you just get over? You're like, what, 4 weeks old? Just get over. Get over.
I found that so much funnier than I should have. Sigmoidal, courtesy of @OboCrazy. When I type it in to Merriam-Webster, what comes up is it's sigmoidal, but sigmoid. So sigmoidal is sort of like, it builds on the root word that is sigmoid, which is an adjective. There's a couple definitions. The first one, curved like the letter C. The second definition, curved in two directions like the letter S. And then the third one is of, relating to, or being the sigmoid colon.
Whoa.
And the sigmoid colon, when I Google that, according to Wikipedia, is the part of the large intestine that is closest to the rectum and anus.
I prefer that first one where it makes me think more of Sofia Vergara instead of my butt.
Yeah, I agree. And wow. Okay, so curved like the letter C, curved in two directions like the letter S, or it relates to the part of the large intestine that's closest to your rectum. Damn near killed him. That's the sigmoid colon. The sigmoidal. It's a cool sounding word. I gotta say, I love the sound of this word. But you know what? We got to move on. It's crazy how much time we're taking to just ourselves this week. I'm very proud of that. We're giving people the entertainment they deserve. But we have one more word this week. And this one comes from Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/wordrango, where Jacob Holden says, absquatulate.
Whoa. What?
This is some fucking Ryan Lewis bullshit, is what it is. Absquatulate. It is ABSQUATULATE. So absquatulate. And I will start off right off the bat. Absquatulate's the newest, hottest exercise. It's ab squats. It's like a reverse squat. You know how with squats, like what you do is you sort of have your feet out, and then you bend at the knees. Well, you typically have like a barbell with weights on, like on your shoulders, let's say, and you basically use those glutes, you use those thighs to bend down, dip your way down, and then you pull yourself back up using that. You try and keep your back straight while doing it. It's great. Well, instead, an ab squat is when you're trying to use those ab muscles. Instead, you're working your core. So in order to do that, you have to have your feet out. Basically, it's like backwards. You have your feet out behind you, and you are trying to... Have you ever seen that video for Smooth Criminal, the cover by Alien Ant Farm? Many years ago, and I say Alien Ant Farm, and that's the only song you're going to think of because that's the only song they ever had, was that cover of the Michael Jackson song. But in that video, I don't know why I think of it, it just came to my head, but in that video, they had these inserts in their shoes where they would suddenly kind of like lean forward unnaturally, and you're like, well, you're supposed to fall over when you lean that far forward. But no, in fact, they were doing ab squats. This was years before they became hot. So when you're doing these ab squats, what you're doing is you have your feet out behind you. I'm kind of doing it right now, and you're leaning as far forward as you can and using your ab and your core, and I guess your legs and everything. It really, it's meant to work as much as you can with your body. It's supposed to be very...
Crap, sorry. I just fell down.
Yeah, and it's tough, right? You got to get to be an expert at it. You're trying to not fall over, and you don't want to use your hands to propel yourself off the ground. And you do that anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 times.
Oh, crap.
So that's an ab squat. That's ab squatulate. It's the newest, hottest exercise everybody's doing. It's great. And man, it just burns calories. Like, you're just going to sweat it all out. It's crazy.
What about back squatulates? Nope. Sorry. Fell down again.
Yeah, no, that's doing it backwards. And the one that you really don't want to do, though, is Sasquatchulates. that one's really tough. You can kind of already tell. You're basically doing ab squatulates and back squatulates, but you're wearing a giant Sasquatch costume, and you're also walking through the woods while someone in like the 1940s or 1960s has a camera, and they're trying to capture you and say that you're the missing link, and then they sell the video on YouTube. That's a Sasquatchulate. So that's, yeah.
I was thinking it's where you do those two motions, but you have a Sasquatch on your shoulders.
Oh, God, that's even tougher. Yeah, that is another variant.
But he's not behind your neck. He's the other way. Oh. I hate these. Oh,
God, I got to get that beach bod somehow. That's my guess for ab squatulate. Bob, what do you think ab squatulate means?
I hate my gym so much. Gotta get my deposit back from this gym. Ab squatulate. This is a tax on, you pay lots of taxes in your life. You pay it on, whatever you buy at the store. You pay it to the government. This is a tax on immortality. Can you imagine how much money Dracula has saved up? Of course you can't, because that's how we pave our roads. We tax that guy heavily. Heavily.
That is brilliant. That is seriously one of my favorite definitions you've ever offered up ever. Because when you think about it, if you knew that someone was immortal, like, oh, well, that motherfucker can't die, the government would tax the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it makes perfect sense, Bob. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, if we had to think about it.
Mr. the Impaler, we're here to collect our taxes for this year. And last year, too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, IRS is getting on his ass.
Yeah, here. Let me just show you this. Yeah, no, way down there is the decimal point, sir. As I push my glasses back up the bridge of my nose. Right there. It's right there. But way at the end, yeah. Yeah, no, we're not going to take that in, though. What's your currency here? No, we're not taking that in ducats. No.
Now, I hope that you respond to the IRS guy, the tax guy or whatever, as Vlad, the used car salesman, because I know you've done that too.
Look, do you think I have that just laying around? I barely sold any cars this month. Are you kidding me? This wasn't my fault. It happened to me. Sure, it was a deal I made with the devil, but who was to know I would actually live forever? How about an Impreza? I have one of those.
How about instead I hook you up with a Vlad the Impala? Oh, wow. So taxing the immortal. That is, this word better live up, like the definition better live up to this. We have one more definition to give, though, as far as guesses go, and this comes from Dave. Dave emails in, he says, this sounds like the move I do when I have to dump out in a... Wait a minute. This sounds like the move I do when I have to dump out in a gross toilet situation. I abso-whatulate. Doing a bit of a hover squat if you feel the burn in your abs, and it's like a great core workout and way to avoid getting super... a way to avoid getting super AIDS on your ass.
So okay. You're in that dive bar.
Yeah.
And you really have to go.
Oh God, yeah. Like it's like you had the chicken marsala at dinner, but it was way too much marsala, if you know what I mean.
It was all marsala.
Yeah.
It was all Winton marsalas.
Yeah.
So a show of hands, how many people have done the absquatulate over top of a toilet? Mike, you?
I think I maybe have.
Because I have not.
I was going to say...
Because I'll tell you, I will leave and go home.
My problem is one of, can you make it? Because this sounds like something that is desperate times call for desperate measures, right? It's, how bad do you... Like, how big of an emergency does it feel? And by all means, I mean, I think I maybe have even told a story once on the show, real or not. That's going to save my ass. No pun intended.
Waka waka.
But, no, I think I maybe have even related before how I've had those like horrible stomach cramp situations. Everybody's had this before. And you start to wonder in your head, look, if I shit my pants, is it really going to be that bad compared to sitting on the Super AIDS toilet, How
much is this going to cost me? How much is underwear? How much are jeans?
How much is it going to set me back? Is this my favorite pair of jeans? Is
this my favorite dress?
Am I going to be able to salvage what I have, or am I basically throwing this out? Like, what sort of situation am I dealing with before you even get to
Will people be able to smell me?
And see,
it's a dive bar. I don't know.
And the other question you ask, obviously, is can I get home in time? Home to like your home quarters or to a toilet you trust. And that toilet you trust could be at the convenience store as opposed to the dive bar, let's say. And I consider all these things before I'd even think of the absquatulate. And that's a move that I'm just not sure I could successfully pull off, because I feel like if I'm dropping from a height as opposed to being right on the toilet, I'm asking for like a whole heap of trouble, because the splash damage could be even worse,
Does Dave think the Super AIDS just stay on the toilet seat?
No, if you're just in the area of them, it's even
they're
worse.
in that primordial ooze that's down in the bowl.
Ugh, god damn
waiting
it.
for you. They're waiting for splashdown.
we are wow. I mean, we just grossed literally everyone out.
Well, okay, so instead of thinking about... So let's pretend that you're the Super AIDS in the toilet bowl.
Okay.
And you're looking up.
Okay.
And you see Dave coming to hover over top of you. Instead of seeing that picture, just close your little Super AIDS eyes.
Okay.
And just imagine the scene from Independence Day where the ship is hovering right over top of the White House.
Yeah.
And the blue beam is Dave. Boom!
The Independence Day mothership absquatulated on the United States.
All over it.
Holy shit. Oh God, that's so good. And that movie was so bad in retrospect. So that's good. What we need to do is we need to get a definition. Merriam-Webster says it is slang for decamp, a frontiersman preparing to and head for the wilderness. And it's also slang for abscond, the cashier absquatulated with the funds. That's weird because according to Google, absquatulate means to leave abruptly. I mean, this is fucking all over the place.
I gotta go. Okay, I'm back.
See, that's performance art, friends. That's how that works.
I gotta go.
Okay, God,
I'm back.
No. That was
leaving.
That was the last time, Bob. Damn
I'm
it.
here.
We have a show to finish
Later.
Oh my God. So we're gonna stick with, according to Google, leaving abruptly.
Oh, God, bear.
and according to Merriam-Webster, it's a bunch of other shit. You guys can look it up yourselves. But those are our words this week. We don't have escalator pitches because people aren't here to speak for themselves. But instead, what we are going to do is we're going to have, we got 6 words, and Bob, it's down to you and I that we have to, sort out how these break up. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the first 3 words and debate which one is the winner out of those 3, and we're going to do the same with the second set. The first set, oblongata, troubadour, and trencherman.
Just the 2 of us. We can make it if we try. Okay, so oblongata, troubadour, trencherman. I'm going to go with oblongata because, frankly, I think having to call your insurance agent to report that your pink Hello Kitty scooter has been eaten by a spider bear is fantastic.
I can feel that.
Hashtag foreshadowing.
I do think that mine, I'm really feeling Trencherman. I feel like Trencherman is a villain. Paul True needs villains. And we have the whole, we got a new voice for you, Bob.
You will feel the wrath of this trench as soon as how far do I have to dig in this? I have no idea. I hope I didn't have to call before I dig. I don't want to hit a water main.
and let's be clear. Troubadour is not bad either. I mean, we had the troubled door, and that's pretty good. So we've got a couple of issues as far as these 3 are concerned. We got to have one of them win.
She said I was a knob.
So really, it seems like, though, if you're picking oblongata and I'm picking trencherman, it's down to those 2. We have to pick between those 2.
She said I was very superficial, that I had a hollow core.
Are you switching your vote, or because I want to stick to trencherman? I really believe in it.
I just like the troubled door. I'm sticking with oblongata.
Okay. We'll revisit this somehow. No, you know what? We'll pick 2 out of each of these sets. Let's do that. I think that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Troubadour's out. Then we have concubine, sigmoidal, and absquatulate. I believe that the one I want to see survive out of this.
Absquatulate.
I
still don't know what the real meaning of the word is.
Right. Nobody really knows.
But the ones we came up with, so much better.
So do you want to save absquatulate then?
Yep.
Okay. You're saving absquatulate. I am going to save
sigmoidal?
Yeah, I have to save sigmoidal. Unfortunately, concubine, it's good, but it just wasn't good enough to get us over that hump. Get it, hump. Am I right? Hashtag, am I right?
Hashtag concubine.
All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to pit the 2 that each of us picked against each other. So
it's the final countdown.
Oblongata versus absquatulate. Bob, you have to pick between one of these 2. What do you think? I'm making you do it.
So I really like Spider Bear.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really like the idea of switching your viewpoint from, instead of seeing Dave's butthole to seeing the Independence Day mothership. Oh, turmoil. Oh, absquatulate.
All right, absquatulate survives. Unfortunately, oblongata is out, and I have to pick between trencherman and sigmoidal. I have got to go with trencherman. It's just too goddamn good. Sigmoidal's fine, but something about trencherman. Trencherman. It's good. It's just Paul True needs the villain. All right, it's down to our last 2. Absquatulate versus trencherman. I will go first. Bob, you're gonna help me. I mean, we're gonna both decide here. I love both of these words, and we should give some shout outs to our final 2 contestants, @7Ravis, and then also Jacob Holden. Thank you both. Thank you all, really, for contributing your words, but thank you both for these fantastic additions.
Thank you all for your help this week. This was... We were in a pinch.
We were definitely in a pinch.
Because Dave had to go off with the CIA, and apparently Lassie will not save Ryan from the well. Only Timmy. Only Timmy gets out of the well. Ryan has to stay.
But it's... we needed the help, and you guys stepped up. You stepped up majorly. These are words that I wish I had for a regular week of Word Rango, by far. Especially these two right in front of us, Trencherman and Absquatulate. Holy shit. How do you pick between them? I have to stick with Trencherman, because Absquatulate, the second that word is said, I could go, okay, I could see that being a word. It's one of those crazy ones Ryan's going to bring to the table one week. But Trencherman, when it was Facebook, this one was tweeted. When this one was tweeted at us, my first thought is like, that's not a real fucking word. And I had a feeling like, you know what? I'm going to go through this whole thing. We're all going to give our guesses. I'm going to look it up and then find out it's not a real fucking word. Turns out it is, and that's the best thing ever. So I have to stick with Trencherman. I think it's a fantastic word. Bob, what do you think? Absquatulate or Trencherman?
It's a shame that I have to do this to you, but I want to vote for oblongata. Nah, I'm kidding.
You don't even have a word this week and you still pulled that shit. Are you kidding?
Tip of the hat to me this week, yeah. I am going to vote for... Poltroon, I'll get your electricity supply. Underground power. Trencherman.
And that is it. Congratulations at 7 Ravis. You are the winner this week on the first ever, listener's choice, I guess we'll do. I don't know. You guys fucking come up with how it's going to call. I don't care. But Trencherman is our word of the week. We managed a fantastic show. I'm thrilled with how this went for it being a cast of 2. But really, the beauty of it, you were all here with us. Am I right?
Hashtag hell yeah.
And with that, Bob, if people want to get in touch with us and high five each other saying, fuck yeah, we can come up with good words, how do they do that?
Oh, give us the high five at wordrango@gmail.com. Actually, it's more of a type 5, not really a high five. True. Twitter.com/wordrango, Facebook.com/wordrango. The most important thing this upcoming Saturday, May 31st, 2014, King of Tokyo! Our live event, Fantasium Comics and Games in Federal Way, Washington. If you haven't seen it yet, you should watch the video.
That's damn good.
Typically, I don't toot my own horn that loudly, but this video I made is phenomenal.
It is. It's really, really, really good.
bit.ly/King of Tokyo, all lowercase. So type that in, watch the video. It'll give you all the information inside there to actually not only reserve your spot, there's a phone number in there. You can also go to Fantasium Comics and Games on Facebook and send them little Facebook notifications. Get yourself on the list. They would like to have a list so we can kind of block off how many thousands of tables we're going to need for this tournament. I have received in the mail the ceremonial medals for the top 3 people.
Damn.
The number 1 placed person, the actual King of Tokyo, is going to get a gift certificate so they can buy themselves a copy of King of Tokyo if they would like.
It's a gift certificate to Applebee's. Yeah.
So enjoy their sliders. And so free stuff, no entry fee. All you got to do is show up May 31st, noon. We also would kind of like you to sign up and tell us that you're coming. That'd be great. We'll teach you to play if you don't know how to play. So Fantasium Comics and Games, May 31st, 2014, noon. Might help if you're there a little before noon. And we are going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to be there. I'll have my Doctor Who hockey jersey on, so you'll be able to spot me.
And that's going to be super fun. I'm so thrilled that we're putting this on, and I hope that we have more of these things that people do in the future. It's going to be great. And also, what you could do in between these weeks, it's great. You guys get to listen, and that's fantastic. But what you can do to help the show is go to iTunes, rate the show 5 stars, leave us a review, and it helps us.
This show's still on iTunes?
Yeah, we're definitely still on iTunes. But you know what? We're not only on iTunes. If you have an Android device, you can use our RSS feed. You'll find all of these sorts of things at wordrango.com. You can
We have a
subscribe using our-
website?
Yes, we do. And you can listen from that website if you're like at work. It's fantastic. You can subscribe to the show using our RSS feeds. You can also subscribe to it and listen via Stitcher. That's another thing. I don't know how else that works.
Oh, that's the same thing. It's available down at my dry cleaners.
But what you do, regardless, is share the show with a friend. bit.ly/wordrango is going to send people straight to our iTunes page. That's fantastic. It's really helpful for us. I mean, these are the things that, people can do to help us throughout the week and spread the word, and therefore we can spread the words and all the knowledge. And if this episode was any indicator, it's to show you that, sometimes we skate a few guys down, but it works out well. And that's thanks to you guys. So please, keep the love flowing. That's what we need. Keep those love juices flowing. We need some turn signals for them or something. And that'll do it. Thank you guys for listening. And thank you. I want to read your names off one more time. Thank you, Sinan Kuba, Rowan Kaiser, Seven Ravis, Susan Art, Obo Crazy, and Jacob Holden. Thank you guys for your fantastic words. Congrats again to @7Ravis for Trencher Man. And we'll see you guys again next week. We're going to have 4 more fresh words for you. This has been Word Rango. Later.
Also, thanks Paul Troon and Spider Bear.
And I'm out. Okay, are you ready? Do you want to get a clap in?
Yes, let's clap it up.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, so.
The 2-person clap. The best thing to take to the free clinic in 3, 2, 1.